Let's do it.
And one of the things that I was thinking about is, those policies that would have helped. And, raising the wage, something as absolutely necessary as Medicare for all. Right now, in the middle of a pandemic, making sure everyone is covered, implementing when at a time when so many people are out of work. And when we're talking about sex work, which is something that's very close to my heart personally, that is definitely an issue for the LGBTQIA plus community. A lot of our members of our community are sex workers. So, and like I said, we're going to have a live stream on that. But you're talking about people who are at the very margins that would be helped by a guaranteed basic income above poverty. Something that you can count on every month that gives you options, as far as keeping you from slipping between the cracks. So, all of these policies that, Howie and I championed and continue to champion because it's just common sense, these are good for our community. These are good for our family along the LGBTQIA plus rainbow. So, yeah, that was an excellent point, Emma.
Thank you. Margaret, what do you think about all this? Okay, so here, I have 3 thoughts in no particular order. Number 1, so my very first position in the Green Party was as the national delegate for the Lavender Caucus, and I was approached for that position specifically to argue for sex workers' amendment to our platform, because I believe so strongly in sex worker protections. I myself, like many people in our community, have been a sex worker in the past, and it has been a vital source of income to me at various points in my life. So having protections for actual work is a good thing, and we should definitely do that. Number 2, how this all kind of relates to me, aside from my own personal experience, is that when I think about what the Green Party is, we are one of 4 electoral parties in the United States. We are the only left party, the only left one. I don't mean like the only one that is remaining, which would be great, kind of, but the only party on the left, which means we have an obligation in a real way to represent a solid left perspective. And the solid left perspective is including and inclusive of sex workers and sex worker rights. We just can't afford to dodge on that issue any longer. And that, of course, is intimately connected with our community. And the third thing I want to say is, there is this broad, I think, awareness that I witness rising, not just in the Green Party, but certainly here, but also in broader society, of not just, trans people exist, but specifically how and why we are here, the sorts of realnesses of our life experiences and all the rest. And I think that comes from having good representation that we're starting to see in mainstream media and other kind of sources. And so I'm personally grateful when I get to read the accounts of other trans people who have come before me, because it helps me feel not alone. When I see other people around our country, around the world, stepping into positions of leadership or in other positions of responsibility in their community, it gives me hope that there are people who, despite the haters and despite the people who talk negatively to us, the others will permit us to be fully included participants in society, and we get to participate just like everyone else, which is all really that we could ask for. And I'm grateful when I see it happen. Like here in the Green Party, there's a lot of tension right now about this issue. But you see plenty of people around us who are completely supportive and willing to learn and become educated allies so that they can educate others. They don't just put it all onto the trans people and the queer folks in the party to do the heavy lifting. And, frankly, as a person who's been around the block a few times, I am grateful for that, because you can only carry so much for so long. And, it's just been a fantastic experience broadly to to meet Howie and Angela and the other Greens in the party. And I just want to say, as a personal side, because I haven't got a chance to say this since the elections, I was really, really happy to have Angela on and Darlene, the competitor, to the National Lavender Caucus so we could interview them, because, oh my gosh, it was so great to have them there and get a chance to speak and everything. And it was really fantastic. And I've been really impressed by everything I've seen coming out of the Hawkins-Walker campaign over the entire course of the election cycle. And I'm really eager to see what continues to come up, and especially that conversation she'll be having coming up later on with sex workers. I'm going to tune in for that.
That's what's up. And, I'll pitch it at the end, but, if there are people who are, in our Green family who are watching, folks who know folks that want to be part of that discussion, I'm gonna let y'all know. Y'all need to holler at me. One of our